I just tried to go live earlier, but for some reason, it's acting weird. Okay, cool. How is everyone feeling tonight? I didn't even realize it was this late. That's crazy. Hello, hello. Happy new moon in Cancer, you guys. How are y'all feeling? How is everyone feeling? I'm gonna go over the Cancer. Oh damn. Thank y'all for being woke for me this late. And it's Friday. Y'all could be out partying and doing all types of cool shit. But you're here being a nerd with me, and I appreciate that. I like that. Okay. So, like I said, I'm gonna be going over the Cancer new moon, and I pulled some cards. Oh, thank you. Y'all, I was like really anxious about getting on live. So like I'm a Cancer rising, it's the Cancer moon. Cancer can be a very self-conscious sign. And I was feeling like extremely self-conscious about getting on here. I don't know why, because I did like a whole PowerPoint. I took hella notes just to be able to share with y'all, but I get in my mood sometimes, so I'm happy that I pushed myself to do this. Hello. I want everybody to comment in one word how they feel today. Like, try to sum it up in one word and comment that. Do you feel happy? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel like you don't know how you feel? Like, yes. I think today I feel like today I felt like super self-reflective. I think that's how I was feeling. I feel relaxed. Okay, cool. Cruising. All right, nice. Melancholy, that's the word. Icky, Cancer season. Oh, I could see that. Cancer energy, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio season are always the hardest seasons to deal with, just because it deals with the emotional body, and it's a lot, a little bit of it all overall, focus more. I love that. Okay, cool. Okay, so with this new moon in Cancer, I put a post together for y'all to see and like read through it, so I didn't have to go back over it. But what I can say about Cancer energy is this is a time of you guys needing to figure out what makes you feel safe and at home. So this could be like actually like being in your house or doing something that makes, you know, home feel better, cleansing your house, or it could be identifying that maybe a person makes you feel like you're at home, or how does your home, your physical body feel? Do you feel at home in your body? Do you feel uncomfortable? If so, why? And also, hey mama. So, my mom is here too. Yeah. That's dope. So I think that with Cancer energy, Cancer deals with ancestral energy, and it also deals with water. So today and just over the next 2 weeks, while this energy is like on us, you know, try to take time to spiritually cleanse your houses. Try to take time to spiritually cleanse yourself by doing intentional spiritual baths. Okay. And your birthday is coming up soon. Try to do things to help you to reset your energy, because whether you have Cancer placements in your chart or not, Cancer season is you absorbing a lot of energy in your environment around you. I don't know why my voice is going out. And absorbing energy around you. So being intentional about cleansing yourselves at this time is going to be very important, okay? And doing a lot of like emotional checks with your body. My voice ain't been doing this all day, and then I get on here and it's all raspy and shit. Also, Cancer energy deals with stability. and financial stability and security. And so if that energy is coming up for yourself, kind of reflect on that too. That's something that's been coming up for me as well. So other people might feel like that. And sometimes having this energy will make you bring out that like go-getter energy. Like, okay, is this the best I can do for myself? And if this isn't the best that I can do for myself, what do I need to do to apply pressure to live the type of lifestyle that I want to live? Okay. Hi, Angel. A lot of nurturing energy. Yes. How can you nurture yourselves? Also, Cancer energy is about that maternal connection. Check on your moms too. You know, Cancer energy deals with mother energy. Check on y'all's moms. But how can you nurture yourself? How can you nurture your environment? And how can you nurture the people around you that you love? Okay. So, let's see. I pulled cards for you guys, and I'm also going to go over what house the moon is transiting in your chart, just in case you don't know. So are there any Aries rising or Aries placements in here? If there is, can you put a fire emoji, please? I appreciate y'all's participation when I do these lives. So if you have a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or a Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Aries, Venus, or Mars, or Mercury. Yes, I am. As long as Instagram don't trip, I will be saving it to my page. For Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, are there any in here? If there are, drop a fire emoji. Okay, cool. All I needed was one. Okay, so, hold on. So for Aries, I pulled, so it's funny because the last live that I did, I believe I pulled the same card for you guys, right side up. I got the Ace of Swords for y'all, but I got it in reverse. And so with the Ace of Swords, swords dealing with the element of air, this is dealing with your mind and the way that you're communicating. My guess that this is the second time that I've pulled this for you guys, a sign, is showing that there is a lack of clarity in something, or there are miscommunications that are happening with the people around you, with your relationships, with family, with friends, or something like that. There could be a lot of just mental confusion, and there is an energy of you guys needing to get to the root of the problem. If there are miscommunications happening, what is the root of this? Why is this happening? If there is a lack of clarity, what is causing you guys to have a lack of clarity? Are you speaking up for yourselves to ask for clarification? Which I feel like Aries placements never really have a hard time asking for clarification, or I don't want to say being confrontational, but you know, it depends on the other placements that y'all have. But yeah, if you're feeling like there is a lack of clarity, what is giving y'all that lack of clarity? You know, what can you do to get that clarity that you guys need? Also, another thing with the Ace of Swords is, if you have a lack of clarity or you feel like there's confusion, you need to get really clear on your goals right now. What can you focus on? I feel like with Cancer season, because we're being called to deal with our emotional body, it kind of takes us out of our mind and into our body to the point where we don't really know what to focus on and what direction to go into, you know? So what can you focus on? What goals do you want to set for yourself? Another thing with the Ace of Swords is, if you're in a relationship, there could be miscommunications that happen at this time, which makes sense because we have Neptune is in retrograde right now, and Neptune retrograde kind of dismantles illusions and exposes the truth about certain things. So, you know, when you're in a relationship, if those types of issues are coming up, you need to allow your person to be able to speak without you jumping to conclusions or being impulsive or getting offended. I feel like Aries needs to take time to listen and observe before jumping to conclusions about something. Okay. What else did I get for you guys? I want to say I might have pulled the Ten of Swords, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to go back to that. Aries, the one Aries that's in here, do you feel like you resonate with that at all? Let me know. Give me some energy. Also, if you're an Aries rising, this moon is transiting your 4th house. So the 4th house is naturally ruled by Cancer. And when something is in the 4th house, it's going to deal with cleaning up your home, connecting to your family, maybe even hyper-focusing on the environment that you grew up in and your relationship with your family right now, or your relationship with your mother. When something is in your 4th house, it is illuminating matters that are private to you and bringing it to the front. So I feel like with Aries, y'all are a very determined sign, super goal-oriented. Aries rules the self. So when I say Aries are selfish, I don't mean it in a negative way. It's just that you guys know how to put yourselves first for the most part. So with the moon being in your 4th house, this is taking the spotlight off of yourself, but focusing on the environment that you're in. Okay? So yeah, when we have something in the 4th house, if you guys practice any type of ancestral veneration or anything like that, this could be a good time to do some altar work. This could be a good time to do some type of ritual around water, whether it's speaking intentions into the water that you're about to drink, speaking intentions into a spiritual bath. It's all types of things. Going to a body of water and giving offerings to the water. That can be really good for Aries right now, especially if you feel like there is conflict that is happening when it comes to communication. If you do any type of work with deities or ancestors or anything like that, and you're having this conflict, maybe it's time for you to give some offerings. Okay? Okay. Now I'm gonna move on to Taurus placements. Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. Are there any Tauruses in the building? If there are, drop a Taurus emoji for me, please. If you're a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, or Venus in Taurus, Mars in Taurus, or Mercury in Taurus. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Okay, so for Taurus, the moon is transiting your 3rd house, which is Gemini. So this is dealing with communication and the environment that you're in. When something is in your 3rd house, this is making you focus on the way that you express yourself, the way that you articulate your feelings and your thoughts. I find that when a planet is in the 3rd house, you would think that maybe you could communicate a lot more effectively, but I think that you become a little bit more scatterbrained when you have something in the 3rd house. I also think that it's kind of hard for you to ground yourself to be able to speak what you want to say, especially in the beginning of a transit. So, yeah. Now, for the card that I pulled for y'all, I got the Death card for y'all. Don't be alarmed. The Death card doesn't literally mean death, but it could mean a certain part of yourself that you need to let go of. It can mean that there is an ending to something so that a new beginning can happen for something else. It could show that there is some form of transformation that needs to take place. And what are you willing to give up in order to bring in new energy for yourself, or to bring in a new chapter for yourself? What are you willing to sacrifice, Taurus? Okay? Also, so with Cancer energy, since we're in Cancer season, it's the Cancer moon, we can be really stuck on thinking about the past, reflecting on the past, and reflecting on just past mistakes or past relationships. And Taurus, with me pulling the death card for y'all, this could be dealing with you being stuck in that space, needing to forgive yourself, needing to realize that you're not the same person. You cannot go into a new chapter of your life with old habits or bad habits or whatever. Like, what character are you being called to be in this new timeline? And are you embracing becoming that new character in this timeline? If you're not, you're going to have resistance. There's going to be conflict, and things are just not going to feel like they're flowing cohesively for you. So, yeah. Taurus, how do you feel about that so far? How do y'all feel about that so far if the Tauruses are still in here? Again, I want to thank y'all for being here on a Friday night, because y'all could be going out having a good time, and you here with me. Taurus resonates. Okay, nice. Okay, if you're in a relationship, Taurus, there might be a need for a discussion to happen. You might need to discuss something that makes you feel uncomfortable, discuss a situation that happened in the past. Maybe you're feeling triggered by it and you just can't let it go. And Taurus rules the throat chakra, so if you are suppressing the way that you feel in your relationship, this Cancer energy might be pulling it out of you to be like, you need to talk about this. No matter... And if you feel like you can't talk about it, like, why is there fear behind talking to your partner? You know what I'm saying? Like, something needs to be addressed there. Yeah. How do you feel about that? The Taurus that's in here, are you in a relationship? And even if it's not a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship. It could just be a situation that happened with somebody, old or new, where there's some form of expression that needs to take place. And this Cancer energy is giving you the emotional fortitude to be able to do that, and the emotional intelligence to be able to do that. Okay. Yay, I'm happy I'm spot on. Thank you for listening, Taurus. Okay, I'm going to... I was talking to a Taurus but like, we came to an agreement that we should focus on self right now. Okay, nice. So, well, not nice, but did that just happen recently? And it's probably for the best if you feel like y'all just came to an agreement that y'all, should focus on yourselves. With me pulling the death card for you, maybe this person does not fit the new character that you need to be in this timeline that you're going on. You know what I'm saying? Cancer energy can be going towards something that feels familiar to you. And maybe that person felt familiar or made you feel some type of nostalgic energy, but that's not necessarily where you need to be at, okay? This is growth. This is evolution for you. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to move on to Gemini. Do we have Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Gemini, Venus in Gemini, or Mercury or Mars in Gemini? If there are Geminis, drop a yellow heart in here. Is anybody a Gemini moon like me in here? Drop a yellow heart for Gemini placement. I feel like Geminis be getting out on the weekends, so I might not be none in here, but I'm gonna still let you know what card I pulled. Okay, cool. There is one. So Gemini, I pulled, first of all, for Gemini rising, this moon is transiting your second house. So the second house deals with what you value. It deals with what makes you feel safe and what gives you security. But with the moon being in this placement, it can bring out a lot of insecurities right now, which is okay, because before you can really feel secure, you have to face that shadow energy, or the opposite of that, which is the insecurity. Okay, so I pulled I pulled the 10 of Cups for Gemini placements. And with the 10 of Cups, I think that this energy is about you guys starting to focus your energy on yourself before focusing on other people around you. I feel like Geminis have been very selfless lately, and have been really focused on pouring energy into other people, to the point where you might have neglected yourself. Sorry, I said the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Cups, my bad. You've been focusing on other people so much that you're not really focusing on yourself and what you need. And Cups is dealing with the element of water, so this is about love and your subconscious mind. Cups literally holds water, so it's like I'm pouring and pouring into other people. I'm pouring into, you know, what I want to see manifest, but you're not necessarily pouring into yourself. Now with the 10 of Cups in reverse, right side up, the 10 of Cups is about you finding harmony, finding that happy chapter for yourself. But it's like, with it being in reverse, what are you willing to sacrifice and let go of in order for you to have this happy ending, or have this lifestyle or this relationship that you want? There needs to be a balance between what you do for yourself and what you do for others, and your work life and your creative life. Like, finding balance, but finding what is holding you back from having harmony within your life, if that makes sense. Why is my voice doing this? I pulled another card for y'all too. Also, a second card, because I wanted to get clarification. I pulled the Sun card in reverse for Gemini placements. And this could be about how you deal with setbacks and what are the lessons that need to be learned. For me personally, just because I like to be transparent with y'all, with me being a Gemini moon, I definitely feel like I am learning how to deal with the setbacks that have come up, because on my last live I told y'all, like, when it was the Sagittarius full moon, or no, Gemini new moon, I had a lot of random setbacks that happened, and it really was forcing me to learn how to be adaptable. And I'm still kind of in that energy right now. I don't know if other Geminis feel that way, but yeah, I'm definitely feeling like there's some setbacks, but why are there setbacks, and what lessons and wisdom need to be learned from those setbacks, if that makes sense. Gemini, do you resonate with that? The Gemini that's in here, how are you feeling about your relationships right now? How y'all feeling about y'all's love life? Because I'm curious. I am very, very, very curious to know. I feel like Geminis want love really bad. They might have their eyes on someone. They might be focused on wanting to have like their person and build towards like a future with someone. But with it being in reverse, there is some type of delay that's there. So I think that there is more work that needs to be done. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I recently ended up a relationship that was a one-way effort. Okay, yeah. So like I said, with it being in reverse, it's like y'all want to have that, but there's some type of delay or obstacle that is there for Gemini energy. And I think that I think that probably happened because there were some underlying issues there, whether it was with that person or just with yourself, like really getting clear on what you want. So yeah, something is still gonna work out. It's just when things are in reverse, just like when planets are in retrograde, it's not necessarily that it's like the end all be all, but it's just like it's gonna take a little bit of work. It took you 2 years, but you did it. It took a lot to realize because, as you said, I've always been understanding and patient, thinking that time would have fixed things. Definitely within myself, I'm not blaming the other person. Yeah, it's some work that has to be there. But again, I feel like I said, Geminis have been pouring into everybody else around them and kind of neglecting y'all selves. And so it's just a time for you to focus on yourself a little bit, pouring into yourself so that you can bring people in your life that match that energy. Conflicted twin between someone I love but someone from my past has reappeared. And so listen about that, because I said Cancer energy is nostalgic and it makes you reflect on the past. So is this person that has come back from the past, did it not work out for a reason, or did you not give it a chance? And so now you're like, let me try to explore that. Let me know. I said that. And if that person who's coming back from the past, because you have the moon transiting your second house, you have to think about like okay. So with the moon being in your second house, this is about valuing yourself. Are you trying to go back to your past because it's what feels familiar? And if you go back to the past, does that resonate with you valuing yourself? Or does it just feel safe and familiar? Toxic, but I love them. What do you mean by toxic? I love Geminis. Look at y'all in here participating. Would you recommend any water offerings, rituals for Gemini? Yes, definitely. I feel like if you have access to a body of water, you could take offerings, you could take flowers, you could take fruit to a body of water and do an offering for that and be intentional about the things that you're speaking. Or you could do a spiritual bath or spiritual shower, speaking into the water. Find herbs that resonate with the Cancer, Cancer sign. Cops were involved, but he is a beautiful person. Okay. Cops were involved, so there's some underlying issues that have to be addressed with that person. Yeah. So yeah, those are the type of offerings. Or like I said, you could just speak into water. Do a water fast. There's all types of things you can do with water. Hello. Definitely. What else do I want to say about Gemini? That's what I got for y'all. Okay, and now I'm going to go on to Cancer. Are there any Cancer placements in here? Any Cancer risings? Cancer sun, Cancer moon, Cancer rising, Cancer Venus. I know there are. Hydrate for sure. If you're a Cancer, drop a water emoji for me. So, okay. I like that you put that. If there are any Cancer, other Cancer placements, you could put the Cancer sign or a water Cancer emoji. So I pulled 2 cards for Cancer placements. First of all, if you're a Cancer rising, this moon is transiting in your first house. So the first house deals with the house of self, okay? And nice. And so the spotlight is on you, Cancer rising. This is dealing with your identity right now. The way that you view yourself, your personal appearance, literally that, the way that other people perceive you. Do you like the way that other people perceive you? This is definitely dealing just basically with your self-image, and also giving you a chance to reflect on yourself and reflect on past situations that have happened. This could be a time where your emotions are being brought to the surface. I can say for me being a Cancer rising, I definitely feel that way because before the new moon went into the first house, it was in the 12th house. And I was like, yo, I felt so trapped and just like very off and super weird. And when something is transiting your 12th house, it can feel very uncomfortable to the point to where you want to practice escapism because you feel so uncomfortable. And when you're aware, you can like recognize that. You just have to kind of sit with it. So it's kind of like you go through this like death process, and then when it gets into your first house, it's like you're being reborn again. So particularly for Cancer risings, this is like a rebirth for us. Now for all Cancer placements, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, all of that, I pulled the 5 of Wands in reverse for Cancer placements. So Wands is dealing with the element of fire, and this deals with the things that you're passionate about, the things that ignite love in you, your willpower. It can deal with your family and matters around your family. And so with the 5 of Wands in reverse, this is about you needing to focus on what is important. Not necessarily what you want right now, but what you need. When I see the 5 of Wands, I think about people trying to imitate what they think their life should look like, or trying to follow a blueprint just kind of unconsciously, and not really being truthful with what they actually want and what actually works for them. And so for Cancer placements, I feel like this is a time for you to really assess what you want and being intentional about it, but also, like I said, focusing on what is important. Try not to practice escapism, but like, what needs to be done right now? I also feel like with the 5, because number 5 deals with conflict, it deals with disagreements, it deals with some type of betrayal, loss, or disappointment. When you see the number 5 dealing with tarot, and definitely dealing with change. So it's like, Cancers, how are y'all adapting to change? Especially when it's confronted with some type of conflict or something that is not going the way that you want it to go. How do you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you responding to that energy? Do you feel like you're avoiding conflict? And if you're avoiding conflict, is it because you're fearful about the outcome, or do you feel like you're trying to protect your peace? So you like, I just want to protect my peace and keep myself in a good space. You know what I mean? Like, is there any type of conflict that needs to be resolved? Yeah. Cancers, how do you feel? I feel like I'm very protective at this time. Yeah, and Cancer energy is definitely protective at its highest energy, and at its lower energy, it can be very defensive, you know. But being protective is good. Protecting your peace, protecting your heart. If I need to speak on something, I will. Good. I'm trying to think. I feel like Cancer placements, if there are any Cancer placements that are going through a hard time right now, really assess your environment, and I think I said this last time, assess your environment and who you're tied to. Who do you have in your personal space? If shit is going bad for cancers, it's because you might have somebody in your life, you let somebody from the past come back in, and that person's energy just cannot go where you need to go. Okay? Cancer, there are lessons that need to be learned right now. There's a lot of wisdom that can be extracted at this time. I feel like Cancer's psychic and intuitive abilities are on 10 since we're in Cancer season right now. So really learning how to navigate your intuition and being honest with yourself and listening to your intuition, paying attention to dreams. I can say for me, my dreams have been so clear, and they have, a lot of times I'll have dreams where it's not necessarily dealing with people that I know or people that I've seen. It'll be like a very like outlandish, crazy dream. But lately, my dreams have been so like, they're involving people. Like people that I know or people that I've seen or people that I've had conversations with. And it's very clear. Very, very clear. So I've been waking up like, I don't know what's going on. I do, but I don't. I know there was one particular dream. So it's funny because like I posted about this a couple of weeks ago on my page. The animals that I tend to dream about a lot are feline, like cats, tigers, lions, something like that, and snakes. And one of the dreams that I had was there was something crazy happening in the world, and I was inside of this mall, and I could see that there was a panther and a tiger that was loose inside of this mall. I was the only person that saw. Nobody else in the mall saw. So I was running like crazy, and people were looking at me like I was crazy and like, why is she running? And I didn't have time to slow down to warn anybody because my self-preservation kicked in, and I was like, I gotta find shelter and find some way to protect myself. But I was upset because I was like, damn, like why didn't I warn other people? Now other people are in danger and like I'm sheltering myself. It was just weird. It was like, and then right after that, my dream skipped to me holding a snake. It was a very like small snake, but it bit me, and I like kind of threw it across the room. I don't know. I be having dreams about these two things a lot. And then other dreams that I've had have been dreams of people that like I've never met, but I've seen them before, or people that I've met one time, and them like really opening up and telling me like some real deep shit. Like I'm kind of like peering in on their lives, and I'm like, so I don't know if any other Cancer placements can resonate with that, but dreams have been extremely clear. So this is the season where Cancer placements, y'all need to like tap into that. And even if the dream doesn't make sense, pay attention to the feeling. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, I had this dream, I want to get it interpreted, I don't understand. You don't necessarily have to understand, but you have to know what it feels like. What is the feeling that you extracted from having that dream? That's a lot of participation in here. I really appreciate that. Do you think smoking weed is disassociating? It could be. It depends. If you smoke weed when you feel like you're having, like when an issue arises, when you feel like you're angry or you're sad or you don't know what to do with yourself, then yeah, it could be disassociating because you're not dealing with the issue head on and you're finding a way to escape that. If you smoke weed because it's just for pleasure and you're gonna smoke weed no matter what, like, then, you know, no. But I feel like if a lot of times, I said last time on my live, people don't know how to deal with anxiety or boredom, and so either you'll escape through just wanting to eat food when you're not even hungry, or just having sex when you're really anxious but you don't even necessarily want to have sex, but your body is telling you you got to get this energy out of you some type of way. Or it could be, you know, smoking, it could be drinking, like, oh, I can't deal with this feeling, it feels too dense, so I have to find a way. And you know, using weed or alcohol or whatever, I mean, if you're doing it with intention to transmute or like find some type of like alchemical process of dealing with it and you're aware of that, then sure. But if it's just like an unconscious, like, oh, I'm just gonna do this to escape, then it's like, yeah. The solitude is what I'm facing. So the face isn't all the same. I dreamt that my ex transformed in a dragon that spells fire. And on the same dream, one of my friends was cutting my hair. Wow. What does it mean when you're running from a lion? You know, I felt like when I think of lions, I think about the Strength Tarot card. And it's your perception if, like, the Strength card deals with mind over matter and it deals with your heart, and lions can be associated with your heart. So are you running from yourself? Are you running from your feelings? Are you perceiving your feelings or matters of the heart as something that feels too heavy to deal with? So instead of dealing with it, you run from it? Or could you turn around and face it? The meaning, but all I know is that we slept a few days after. I was scared and a lot of anxiety was present in that dream. Helps when I'm being anxious or I have charisma. So, yeah, anxiety can be a hard thing to deal with and to cope with. Trust me, I know. With me having so much Mercury energy in my chart, I don't even know what life is like without anxiety, but I have definitely learned better ways to cope with it. Before, I used to drink to cope with my anxiety, but I have grown out of that. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't even have a desire to drink. I've never really been a smoker. I don't really go out like that. And so I've really learned to gradually take myself into a space of just allowing the feeling to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have friends around me that I can talk to be like, yo, I'm feeling anxious about this. Or sometimes, shit, I'll just spend the day just, if I have to cry, that's what I gotta do. If I have to just sit and deal with that feeling until it goes away, that's what I'm gonna do, because that's a part of mastering yourself, you know. That's interesting, but you know, it is the year of the dragon for sure. I realize that whenever I take a break from weed, my dreams are clear. That's what I hear. A lot of people say that since they have started smoking weed, that they don't have dreams. And when they stop smoking weed, they start to have dreams. So is that positive? Funny because dragon is also my Chinese sign. Nice. I haven't did much research on dragons. Girl, I'll be... Oh, but the cutting hair part can be a message to why your ex turned into a dragon. Yeah, I was literally just thinking about that when she mentioned it. I do recall when I took an hour break from smoking, I was able to recall my dreams. Yeah, I hear that a lot from people, that when they stop smoking, they actually dream. And I know it's been, I want to say it's been studies about that, like that weed kind of suppresses a certain part in your brain to where you can't dream. So yeah, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, all of that. Pay attention to your intuitive and psychic abilities and your dreams for sure, okay? Again, the spotlight is on you because this moon for Cancer Rising is in our first house. So I could see, like, for me, like I said, it took me a while to get on live tonight because I was feeling self-conscious about the way that I looked and just feeling self-conscious about, like, my information. Like, I took all of these notes and I was like, I don't know, like, second guessing myself. But yeah, it's just dealing with your identity and things of that nature. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna move on to Leo placements. Are there any Leo, Sun, Moon, or Risings? If there are, drop the Leo emoji for me. If you have Leo and Mercury in Leo, or Mars in Leo, or Venus in Leo. Yeah. Yes. That is me working through it and letting my anxiety know that it ain't no hoe in me, okay? I don't care. I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it, okay? It's the only way that growth can happen. It's by making myself uncomfortable. So, y'all have been so wonderful on here. Thank you. I appreciate y'all saying, you know, that I look pretty and everything, because I definitely was like, I don't like the way I look. Like, I changed like shirts like 3 times, and it was like, my hair looks stupid and it's big, and I'm like, you know, but then I was like, you know, this is information, so let's just do it. Thank y'all. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. I do. I'm here. I'm doing it scared, but I'm here. I was like, I want to cry. I don't even know why I want to cry, but I want to cry. Yeah. Thank you. This is actually my friend on this shirt. He does music. Pick up the phone. Yeah, you can see it. I was like, what you mean? Okay. I am. Okay, so it is a couple of Leo placements up in here. So for Leo risings first, Leo risings, this moon is transiting your 12th house. Is there any Leo risings in here in particular? Any Leo risings in here? I see Leo and Venus. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all appreciating me. For real. Are there any Leo risings? Okay. Cool. So, Leo risings, this moon is in your 12th house. How are you feeling? Because 12th house can be very hard. I feel like, so, think about the zodiac wheel. 12th house is Pisces, which is the oldest sign of the zodiac. And then it goes into the first house, which is Aries, which is the first sign. So it is literally a death and a rebirth, because the moon goes through each of the houses, right? So you have all of these lessons starting from the first until you get to the 12th. And all of that energy builds up for you to have the moon in your 12th house can literally feel so uncomfortable. It can feel uncomfortable. It could feel like you're having an ego death. It could feel like you feel really sad. It could feel, or at its higher energy, you could feel extremely creative and very observant, depending on what side of the spectrum you're on. But yeah, this is you ending. You're about to end this chapter to go into your next new timeline when the moon goes into your first house. Okay? Right. So you're feeling all of that. Cool. So yeah, Leo risings, this is dealing with your subconscious mind with the 12th house and hidden matters that are happening. So I think that when you go through the 12th, a lot of your subconscious thoughts that you hide come to the forefront. And it really, I feel like when something is in your 12th house, it helps you to hear how you talk to yourself and what your inner dialogue is. You know what I'm saying? Like those back thoughts that you have, like those insecurities that you have, that doubt that you have starts to come to the surface, and you hear that. And so sometimes it can feel like you're extremely sad or you're going through some form of depression, when really it's like the moon going through that sign is kind of doing like a purge. Like, pay attention to this. You need to be kinder to yourself. You can't fall victim to those heavier negative thoughts. You have to be able to alchemize those thoughts, okay? And when you have something going through your 12th house, it's a good time to rest and not push yourself. When you're at your lower energy and it's in the 12th house, that's where escapism can happen. And you'll be like, oh, I hate the way this feels. I feel sad. So you can lean into wanting to go out, wanting to drink, wanting to party, or wanting to push off your goals, your plans and shit like that, and just procrastinate and kind of get into self-loathing. Which, if that's what you want to do, that's your business. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? But one of those choices can lead to either you reaching your higher self and healing yourself, and the other can just lead you into more shit that you have to heal from. You know what I'm saying? The choice is yours. Okay? So now, for all Leo placements, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, the card that I pulled for Leo placements is the Four of Cups. So at its best, I like to call this card the ungrateful card because he's sitting here with his arms folded, like having a whole temper tantrum about some shit to me. But it could also mean that the Four of Cups, the number 4, deals with Cancer energy. So there's a focus on what makes you feel secure. There's a focus on stability. And it basically is just kind of giving you the idea of needing to be open-minded to new experiences. So like I said, for Leo risings in particular, this is going through your 12th house. And for all Leo placements, if you're going through a hard time or you feel like you're not getting what you want, maybe you are getting what you want, you're just not paying attention, because you can see that the hand is like coming out of this cloud and it's like, hey, instead of you focusing on what's not going right or focusing on what you don't have, if you practice gratitude, then you'll be able to see the bigger picture and you'll see that it's right in front of your face, okay? In order to do that, there has to be a lot of self-reflection that needs to happen, okay? And there also has to be a level of detachment, because when you're wanting to attract something, there has to be a detachment. I think that when you get obsessive over wanting something, like I want this, I want this, I want this, it repels that energy. You're doing too much. You kind of just got to put it out in the universe and let everything work itself out. So try to detach from the thing that you're asking for. Like you said that that's what you wanted, but it's like planting a seed. You cannot plant a seed and sit there and water it and be like, why isn't it growing? And you're watching it every day. When you plant something, you water it and you go about your business and you cater to it when it needs to be catered to. So that's what Leo energy is going through right now. If you're in a relationship or talking to somebody, try to pay attention to your partner and what your partner needs, which I think is easy for Leo placements because Leo rules the heart chakra. I think that y'all, I don't want to say that Leos are like super observant of other people, but y'all are so giving and so loving, you know. So I think that, you know, if you're in a relationship or talking to somebody, just kind of see, you know, what needs to, what you can do to help them out. Or if you're single or whatever, what do you need to give yourself? Okay. Also, Leo is one of the most creative signs. I always say this. Y'all are one of the most creative signs, and I feel like y'all have this fire, passionate energy, but y'all's passion fizzles out because y'all can kind of be worse than Virgos when it comes to wanting to be perfectionists. You're like, oh, if I don't have everything that I need in order to do this thing, I don't want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I only have this, and this, which is funny with the Four of Cups. I only have these things, but like I feel like I need this in order to succeed or whatever. And I feel like Leos, y'all have to really learn about alchemizing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta figure out how to work with what you have instead of being like, oh, I don't have everything, so that means that I can't do this. Like, I can't do this one thing. I can't go after this one thing because I don't have this tool or I don't have this resource or I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like Spirit is like, well, I want you to work with what the fuck I gave you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gave you the batter and, well, I don't even know because what do you make cakes out of? I gave you the eggs and the batter and you like, oh, but I don't have milk. So I don't want to, I think you put milk in cake. I don't know, because I've been plant-based for a long time, so I don't know. And I wasn't really like a sweets person, so I don't really know. But yeah, you could be like, I only have the batter and I have eggs, but I don't have the milk that I need. And, you know, Spirit might be like, use water, okay? Work around that. It can still be good, okay? You have the two major ingredients that you need. and you can improvise on the other things to make that happen. But again, like I said, with Leos, I think that y'all want things to come out a certain type of way, and when you feel like all of the puzzle pieces aren't there, y'all will just scrap the whole shit instead of working with what you have. And I don't get that about y'all. I don't. You got everything you need in front of you, okay? And once you practice gratitude and you work with what you have, you'll be surprised at how Spirit will deliver the other shit that you thought that you needed, okay? That's a word that was channeled. Yeah. Yeah. That made me think about that Mariah Carey meme. What Mariah Carey meme? DM it to me when I'm done with this live. Leos, how do y'all feel about that? Leo placements. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Mars, Venus. How y'all feel about that? While y'all are getting y'all's answers together, I'm going to go to Virgo. So, are there any Virgos in the building? Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Virgo, Venus, Mars, Mercury. If there are, drop the Virgo emoji, please. Also, when I did my last live, I think I had someone who cash apped me a tip, and I really appreciate that. That was really cool. And I don't know who it was, so I didn't get to say thank you. But if you're on this live, I really appreciate that a lot. Okay, cool. So for Virgo risings first, before I go into the other Virgo placements in the card, for Virgo risings, this moon is transiting your 11th house. 11th house is Aquarius. So this is dealing with friendships, your circle, social circles, and also your dreams, your aspirations, the things that you want to go after. And I feel like at this time, Virgo risings, you really need to utilize your networking skills to manifest the things that you want. This moon is a really powerful moon to manifest things also, you guys. Okay, so particularly for Virgo risings, it's time for you to really rely on your community around you. And I know for Virgo placements, it is hard for us to rely on other people, like I said, because we be having a fear of being let down or somebody not doing it the way that we want shit to be done, because we have our ways. But we need to rely on our community and our friendships and allow them to show up for us. Now, with that being said, for Virgo placements, I pulled the Empress card, which is very beautiful because the Empress card to me is you being unbothered by bullshit. You finally getting to a point, because Virgo placements are worry warriors, I think. Yeah, I think that's a term. Virgo placements, we like to worry. We're just naturally anxious people, and we're also extremely psychic. And so where people are like, oh, you're too in your head, you're thinking too much, sometimes Virgos have the foresight of things because we pay attention to patterns and things like that. And so because of that, we can kind of predict a lot of outcomes. But sometimes our minds are so powerful that we can will a outcome that we didn't necessarily want, but we had so much fear in it. And because Virgo rules Mercury, which is the way that we communicate, if we're constantly communicating anxiety, if we're constantly communicating the things that we fear, then we end up manifesting that situation that we were afraid of. And now here we are. But then we low-key like it because we like to create solutions and clean up messes. So it's just real crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like we really be betraying our own selves on some real shit. Like truly. But yeah. So Virgos, with that being said, we are moving into a space of being unbothered, okay? We are accepting the things that we cannot change, and that is a beautiful thing, okay? Yeah. we are accepting things that we can't change. We're finally finding some type of peace and just being grounded and getting control of our thoughts and things of that nature, which is really good. And I say that because I really want to do my, yes it does. It can apply to your nose as well. I really want to teach my tarot class again because I love breaking down these cards in my tarot class. But I say that because in the Empress card, she is surrounded by trees. And trees are basically blocking out storms and air and all of those things, which represents the mind and negative thoughts and negative communication. So it's like you're blocking that out and you're trying to hyper focus on, well, what could the good outcome be? Okay. So for Virgo placements, let go of the past. It's time for you to let go of the past and past hurts and really forgive. Forgive what disappointed you, not for the other person, but for yourself, because Virgos, like I said, are powerful people. And I think that when we hold on to disappointments or grief or sadness or anger, it starts to manifest as physical illness in our body. And Virgos rule the intestines. So a lot of energy can be held in the intestines. And that's your second brain. You know what I'm saying? Your gut is your second brain. So it's like you can start to have issues with your skin when you're holding on to heavier emotions or holding on to something from the past. Yeah, you can lose your glow. You can start to have breakouts. You could just start to look kind of dull. All types of things that can manifest physically in your body. So this is learning how to forgive for yourself. Also with the Empress card, this could show that you are the center of attention in some type of way, or you're gaining a lot of attention, which is cool. Even though Virgos don't necessarily like the spotlight to be on them because they're like, oh, I want to be of service to other people. This might be a time where people want to be of service to you. They want to help you out. They want to do something nice for you. Also, with the Empress card for Virgo placements, your psychic abilities are being enhanced tremendously at this time as well. And also, this might be a time where you are looking for, or you might be attracting people who are very protective over you, which is good. I think that Virgos need to feel safe. So attracting people in your lives that feel protective and understand who you are is important for Virgo placements, okay? So yeah, the Empress is dealing with abundance. If there are any Virgos in here who are trying for pregnancy, this could literally mean that, you know, pregnancy is happening or in the near future. This could also be giving birth to new creative ideas, which is beautiful and all of that. So that's what happened, Virgos. Virgos, do you resonate with that? If you do, let me know how you feel. Thank y'all for sticking in here with me. I know it's super late. I'm going to try to get through these a little bit quicker. My damn anxiety got me on here almost 2 in the morning when I should have been on here at 9. But at least I did it. Oh. And I said, oh yeah, the moon is going through your 11th house. So Virgo risings, things are going to continually improve for Virgo risings right now. And also for, Leo risings, pay attention to what is being neglected. I just wanted to go back. The witching hours are perfect. Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to Libra. Libra, sun, moon, or rising. All of those Libra placements. If there are any Libras in here, drop the Libra emoji. And particularly for Libra risings, this moon is going through your 10th house. So this moon favors Cancers and Libras and Capricorn risings, and I want to say Aries risings. So for Libras, this is going through your 10th house. And so this is dealing with your career and what is being made public for you right now. Libras, you have an opportunity to focus on your status. How can you get your status and your reputation to where you want it to be at right now? Your public image and all of those things. And then the card that I pulled for Libras is the High Priestess in reverse. So the High Priestess in reverse is giving you an opportunity to really connect to your intuition, which I think is important for Libra placements, because Libra placements can be extremely indecisive, and Libra placements can be people pleasers, and because of that, y'all don't really know how to make a choice and stick to it because y'all are indecisive. So the High Priestess in reverse is giving you an opportunity to get out of that energy and to get into connecting to your intuition. So y'all need that right now. The High Priestess is like inviting you in to that. Okay. Also with the High Priestess, this is giving you an opportunity to stop asking other people for advice about what you should do for a situation, because what you're going through is for you to experience, and some of the people that y'all might have around y'all might be projecting when they give y'all advice, and it might not be advice that is fitting for you and what you need. Okay, so that goes into listening to your intuition. Hey, irritate until change. If you're feeling attacked, it's because, you need to trust yourself, Libra placements. Yeah, the people that you're asking for advice from, they're not necessarily giving you good sound advice, and it's not really fitting. And then you try to apply the advice that they gave you, and it doesn't sit well with your spirit. Now you're wrestling with your spirit, and that wasn't for you. And the only reason that you're listening to them is because you're not listening to your discernment. Okay, so yeah. Also, this is a time where you need to put your mind over your heart, and I think that that's important because, again, Libra placements can be extremely indecisive, and so this is you really utilizing, looking at a situation from a black and white perspective and not necessarily from your heart, because I think that your heart might be in a space of confusion. So it's like, let's just call a spade a spade. Let's look at the situation for what it is, and let's make our decision based off of that. All right? So that's what I have for Libra placements. And again, because the moon for Libra risings is going through your 10th house, if you're asking for advice and all of those things, it really might fuck up, your reputation and where you're trying to go to, because you're taking advice from people around you that might be jaded or bittered, and they are not qualified to give you advice, okay? I'm real big and real heavy on people being qualified to give me advice about something, because you cannot be giving me, and I'm not saying that I'm not open to it, but it's like, I'm going to kind of take everything with a grain of salt if you're giving me advice, but I don't see you displaying those qualities in your own life. So Libras, is the person that's giving you advice, are they in a happy relationship? Do they know how to communicate well? Do they know how to run a business? Do they know how to, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. All right, I'm going into Scorpio placements. Scorpio sun, moon rising, all of those things. Particularly for Scorpio risings, this moon is going through your 9th house. The 9th house is Sagittarius, so this is an expansion of something, an abundance of something, an abundance of information, of knowledge. This is an opportunity for you to be able to study things. This is an opportunity for you to hyper focus on a subject. that you want, because you need to master something. Whenever something is going through your ninth house or the moon is in Sagittarius, this is an opportunity for you to master whatever your spirit is naturally like wanting you to focus on, if that makes sense. This is for Scorpio rising. Now for all Scorpio placements, the card that I pulled for you guys is the Ten of Wands. Wands is dealing with creativity, your passion, your willpower. The Ten of Wands can be saying that there is some type of new event that is taking place in your life right now. And this new event it could possibly be putting some type of burden or stress on you, or making you feel like you're overwhelmed about something. But it is calling you to be able to rely on other people around you. You don't have to go through this situation alone. If it's something new, you don't have to deal with it by yourself. You can delegate tasks to other people. You can ask for help. I think for Scorpios, it's real hard for y'all to do that, because Scorpios like power. And if they feel like somebody is looking at them like they're weak, or they're not in control of a situation, y'all don't like shit like that. Y'all don't like it, and because of that, you would rather suffer in silence. I just said in the previous reading that I did that Scorpio placements are being exposed for a reason, because the things that you're asking for are requiring you to be vulnerable. And so that's very fitting. And now that I'm pulling the Ten of Wands for y'all today or tonight, this is also exposing vulnerability for you. You have to. Happy Venus Day. You have to be vulnerable, because you can't build everything by yourself. You can't do this shit by yourself. Also, this is an opportunity for you to be honest about the way that you feel with people. And this can also be showing that you guys are looking to do some type of long-term commitment. So the last live reading that I did, I was saying that you guys have commitment issues to things. And the reason why y'all do is because y'all be doing shit by yourself, so nobody holds y'all accountable to stick to, oh, it is Saturday now, to stick to the shit that y'all said that y'all wanted to do. And so now you're going into this energy of, I'm committing to something, whether it's a relationship or an idea, a passion project, or a new, what's the word I'm looking for? A new lifestyle, some type of lifestyle change. You guys are wanting to commit to that, so that's good. Scorpio placements, how do y'all feel about that? And Scorpio placements, what do y'all feel like y'all are naturally being called to study and focus on, since Scorpio rising is about mastering something? What do you feel like you're being called to master right now? Yay. While y'all are answering that, I'm going to go on to Sagittarius, because I got y'all up wild late. But truthfully, I stay up. My new bedtime, for real, is like 3 in the morning. And I hate that for myself. I truly do. I hate it. Okay, are there any Sagittarius placements in here? Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, Venus and Sag, North Node and Sag. I'm adding that in there too. But particularly, are there any Sagittarius risings in here? I'm being called to master time management and focus on consistency. And you deserve consistency, okay? You deserve consistency. Shit get done when you're a consistent person. When you do shit, let's just skip them. Why? And overall, just executing on the knowledge I know and have. Okay, good deal. Okay, I'm going to go through Sag pretty fast, since I don't see that there are any Sagittarius placements in here. So for Sagittarius rising, this moon is going through your 8th house. The 8th house is Scorpio. Um, and so with the 8th house, this is dealing with shared resources, transformation, and intimacy. Sagittarius rising, you might be in a place where something is being exposed to you. Whether it's you being exposed to yourself, or someone is exposing their ways to you and you're aware of it and you're like, what the fuck? What else do I want to say about Sag? There's a lot of psychological work. When you have something going through the 8th house, you have to think Scorpio in the 8th house rules psychology. And so this is a time where you get to really try to understand your mind. Why do you revert back to certain thinking patterns? Why is it easier for you to think negative or think about the worst possible thing instead of the positive outcome? Why do you feel like you keep going through a certain cycle or pattern? Like, this is a good time for Sagittarius risings to pay attention to that. What is the common theme of the patterns that you're going through? Why do you keep attracting this type of person? Why do you keep attracting this type of situation? When you think about the number 8, if you turn it sideways, because it's in the 8th house, it looks like a pair of handcuffs. Are you going to allow yourself to evolve, or are you going to keep yourself trapped in a cycle? Okay? Sagittarius rising. It's time for you to transform. It's time for you to unchain yourself out of a pattern that is not good for you. And this Cancer moon in the 8th house is illuminating that for you. And because, again, Cancer is dealing with something in the past and nostalgia and all of that, you know, why are you in situations like that? Like, is it a past situation that's coming back up and you're like, damn, like... Okay, now for all Sagittarius placements, I pulled the Page of Wands in reverse. So the Page of Wands in reverse shows that there is a lack of direction that you're feeling right now. There's a lack of direction. There's a lot of procrastination that's happening. There might be a lack of direction because your ass been procrastinating. And you need to stop. You need to get shit done. If you say that you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Don't make excuses. Just make it happen. Unless you're working through something that is very heavy. Give yourself grace to work through that, but still keep your eye on the prize, okay? I also feel like this might be a time where you feel that it's difficult to express yourselves, Sagittarius placements. And that makes sense because Cancer season, I feel like Sagittarius is a very like, want to keep everything light and fun and move around, and they don't necessarily want to dive deep into their emotions, so you might feel like it's hard for you to express yourself. I want to go back to y'all having a lack of focus and a lack of direction. You guys have put yourselves in or caused a situation, and how do I want to say this? Y'all caused a situation due to you not sticking to the plan, due to you procrastinating. And now because of that, there are missed opportunities that could have happened. With the Page of Wands, this is you being a student of something. You kind of slacked on the things that you were supposed to be studying, the things that you're supposed to be doing. You kind of got relaxed on some things, and now shit is not going the way that you want it to, and there's a lot of frustration that is happening, okay? So, you know, Sagittarius placements is cleanup time. It's no pointing fingers at what somebody else did to you and da-da-da. It's cleanup time. You got to correct what, you know, you didn't put energy into. All right, now I'm going to go on to Capricorn placements. If there are any Capricorn placements in here, please put the Capricorn emoji. Now, particularly for Capricorn rising, this moon is in your 7th house. 7th house is ruled by Libra, so this deals with partnerships, marriages, contracts, whether it's soul contracts or actual literal contracts, okay? Contracts are happening right now for y'all, and I feel like the 7th house, whenever something is going through your 7th house, it helps you to highlight if you're being codependent in a situation or if you're practicing like interdependence, which is better. I feel like the 7th house deals with love, and it deals with probably 7th house is like partnership. So feeling like you're craving some form of a partnership, whether it's a relationship or friend or whatever, to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like 7th house and Libra people are way more powerful when they feel supported and they have someone to share their ideas with. So the focus for Capricorn rising right now is finding some form of partnership, not just in a relationship, but friendship or business or something like that. And also finding balance, seeing what brings you to a place of harmony, okay? Now, the card that I pulled for all Libra placements is the, hold on, I think I pulled the High Priestess twice. I pulled the High Priestess for you guys and also the Empress card. And so the Empress card for y'all will be learning how to forgive. And because the moon is in the 7th house for Capricorn rising, forgiving somebody from the past, you got to free up that energy so that you can move forward. So pay attention, you know, to what thoughts come up, triggers that come up. There has to be some form of forgiveness with the Empress card. And for the High Priestess, I feel like, did I really pull that? That's crazy. I really did pull that twice, because I pulled it for another sign. I lied. I didn't pull the High Priestess for y'all. I messed my own self up. I pulled the Three of Swords in reverse and the Empress. So the Empress card is still true for y'all about forgiving somebody from the past. But I got the Three of Swords for you guys in reverse. And so the Three of Swords in reverse, swords is dealing with the mind. And this is you guys learning to accept a situation for what it is. So some of y'all might be grieving a situation that didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, or grieving a situation that happened in the past that really hurt you, and it's coming back up. And so because of that, instead of you staying in the energy of grieving, you're learning to come into a place of acceptance, accepting the situation for what it is and extracting the wisdom out of that situation. If you feel like you're in a space of being unhappy with what happened, you have to figure out how you can put yourself back in a state of harmony and bliss. What do I channel for you guys? With the Three of Swords, y'all got it in reverse. So the hard shit has already ended. The heaviest part of the heartbreak that y'all experienced, the heaviest part of the betrayal that y'all experienced, because the Three of Swords can point towards some form of infidelity that y'all dealt with out of a situation, whether it was a past relationship or a business thing or just a friendship. There was some form of betrayal that happened, and there was a lot of disappointment. It was, the number 3 is like 3 is a crowd. You were trying to create something with someone, but it didn't go the way that you wanted it to. And so with it being in reverse, it's saying that the hardest part of that situation is over. You made it over that hump where maybe you were like, damn, like, will I be able to get past this? You're actually in a space of healing now. Those swords are falling out of your heart. So you're in a place of where you're patching it up. The hardest part is over, which is really, really a beautiful thing for y'all. It means that y'all are actually in a space of moving on. And also with yourself, sorry y'all. So that's what I have for Capricorn rising or Capricorn placements. If y'all resonate with that, let me know how you feel. The Three of Swords is such a difficult card because it can just kind of feel like, you know, when it rains, it storms type of energy. But storms and rain bring about growth, okay? So where you thought that the situation might have, or that person who was trying to hurt you or hurt you, they meant it for bad, it actually ignited growth in you and expansion in you. Okay, now I'm gonna go on to Aquarius placements. For Aquarius rising, the moon is transiting your 6th house. 6th house is Virgo. If you have that card as balance card, what do you think it means? What do you mean as a balance card? Aquarius rising, 6th house is Virgo. So for Aquarius risings, it is a good time for y'all to focus on work. Focus on y'all's daily routines and practices. I feel like Aquarius placements in general are very sporadic and very, they don't always necessarily have structure because it's an air sign. But with it being in the 6th house, you're in a space where you're being called to create some type of structure for yourself, okay? How can you make your work environment better so that things can flow a little bit better? And also paying attention to your health at this time, okay? What are you eating? You know what I'm saying? When something is going through your 6th house is Virgo. Virgo is your intestines. And so this could be a good time to do some form of a detox for Aquarius risings. Now for all other Aquarius placements, okay, sorry, I didn't see that. I see, okay. What card did I pull for y'all? I love Aquarius placement. What did I pull for y'all? I got the 7 of Cups for Aquarius. Oh, why did I do that? Not that one. Not that one, y'all. Not that one. 7. Oh, no, I got the 7 of... Look at me. I'm glad I took my note. Yeah, I got the 7 of Pentacles. So I was right. Sorry. I have the 7 of Pentacles for y'all. So... the 7 of Pentacles, there is some past energy. I feel like with Aquarius placements, Pentacles is dealing with change, but also your money. And with this card, it can feel like you're putting in all of this work, but you might forget why. You know what I'm saying? You might have forgotten what am I working for? Because if you see the way the 7 of Pentacles looks, it's like he has all of these pentacles stacked here, but he's kind of like looking down and there's a ghost in the sky above. So it's like, why did I start off doing this mission in the first place? And the ghost that is presented at the top of this card is like a reminder, like you're doing this for a reason. The number 7 also deals with Libra energy, okay? So this was a contract that you signed up for, okay? You're doing this for a particular reason. And so I feel like, I cannot believe I did that. I literally scatterbrain shit. I literally wrote the 7 of Cups for y'all, but it was the 7 of Pentacles. I feel like with the 7 of Pentacles, you have to remind yourself of why you started, because you can get a little bit discouraged when you don't see the results happening as quickly as you want them to. And I feel like Aquarius placements are on the right track. You know what I'm saying? I think that y'all are on the right track. You just have to remind yourself. And I think that y'all need support. I think that having a good... Aquariuses are loners. You know what I'm saying? Aquariuses are loners because y'all are ahead of y'all's time. And y'all see things happening before they actually happen. Y'all are extremely prophetic. And I think that y'all have been misunderstood a lot. And because of that, y'all don't like to share y'all's ideas with people or share the direction that y'all are going in because you think that you're automatically going to be misunderstood. So I think that having support right now can be helpful for y'all. Just having somebody that can remind you of why you're doing it, that passion project that you wanted to do or whatever. Like, yeah. But right now, seeds are being planted for y'all, so that's good. Aquarius placements, how do y'all feel about that if you're in here? Woo, it's 2:13. All right, and I'm getting to the last sign. So we are at Pisces. Pisces rising. This moon is going through your 5th house. So you're getting an opportunity to tap into your creative energy and also your romantic energy. Pisces rising, y'all need to romanticize or romance yourselves, romance y'all's desires for things, okay? You gotta get into that energy so you can call what you want into your life. You might be feeling extremely like flirtatious and just like wanting to share y'all's loving energy with someone right now, wanting to be able to share that romantic expression with someone right now. Also, this is an opportunity for Pisces rising to get into pleasing their inner child. You know what I'm saying? Like creating for your inner child. When a child creates something, they're not worried about if it's going to be liked by somebody else. They're literally doing it because it makes them feel good. And I think I said that last time for Pisces possibly. So this is kind of the same theme that's going on with y'all. So yeah. If y'all, what do I want to say about that? Get into y'all's playful energy. Yeah. Stop taking everything so serious. Get into your playful energy. Have fun with this shit. Like, get into a space where you're able to create and use this Cancer energy, because Cancer energy can definitely make you feel kind of slowed down, but like, use that to create something. Okay, now the card that I pulled for all Pisces placements is the, where are you? Where are you? You are, come on now, these people is tired. Okay, I got the King of Wands. So Pisces, or the King of Wands. So Pisces, y'all really, I said last week that y'all needed to get into creating, and I feel like a lot of y'all were so busy kind of being stuck on stability to the point to where you were kind of killing your inner child and killing your inner creativity. And so Wands is dealing with creative energy. And I feel like you don't need to be in a space of being impulsive, but you need to figure out what direction you're trying to go in. If you're holding on, I not tweeted, but I guess you say threaded. I said that people who feel like they lack a purpose are easily controlled. So last week I said for Pisces placements that you guys are trying to hold on so tough to like stability and whatever makes y'all feel like y'all are secure, that you're kind of killing your drive and your inner creativity. And by you doing that, you're basically telling your subconscious mind, which is what the Pisces rules, that you feel like you lack purpose. And if you feel like you lack purpose, then that means that you lack direction, which means that you feel like you have to rely on somebody to tell you what to do, somebody to give you direction, somebody to give you structure. When you work for yourself, working for yourself is hard. I always say this because it is non-stop shadow work, because you are governing yourself. You are creating a system for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with Pisces, that's a lesson that is being learned for y'all right now. Like, y'all have the ability. I think Pisces are so dreamy and just kind of like your heads are in the clouds a lot of the time. But when it comes down to actually putting in the work, there's work that has to be put in order for y'all to live the life that y'all are trying to live. There's some type of sacrifice that has to be made in order for y'all to live the way that y'all want. You're able to govern yourself, you guys, Pisces. Y'all got to figure out what direction. You need to remind yourself of what your purpose is. Your purpose is the thing that you loved to do when you were a child. For me, I was just telling my homegirl this. I'm like, I was always, honestly, when I was a kid, like I was always into like witches and vampires, and like I just really liked how dark and mysterious they are. And I literally have grown up to be that person that I loved as a child, truly. Like, I was always into this shit, and I created a space for me to live off of this, because that is my purpose. That's something that felt natural to me. Healing and, you know, connecting to things, that's something that came natural. So for Pisces placements, y'all have to remind yourselves of that. Okay? When you lack or feel like you lack a purpose, you lack direction, and you're able to be controlled. And Pisces are not to be controlled. Y'all are not. Stop that shit. Pisces, how do y'all feel about that? You know, I went to go see, because I'm done for each sign. I wanted to share this because I was gonna like talk about it on Threads, but I went to go see the movie Kinds of Kindness. I don't know if you guys have seen any the trailer for it, but it looked like a really artsy kind of like mind trip movie, kind of like that movie Everything, Every Now, Everywhere, All at Once, or however you say it. Kinds of Kindness are 3 different storylines, but they use the same characters. So it's kind of like they're different people in a different lifetime in each of these 3 stories. And that movie, if y'all can, it's kind of like really eerie and creepy, but not like in a scary horror way. It's just like, it really highlighted our need for wanting to be controlled. Like, it's crazy. Like, the first story, literally, people think that they want to be free and they want sovereignty, but you don't realize the discipline that it takes to have sovereignty. You don't realize the discipline that it takes to be free. And the first story that is followed in that shows this person who is basically being so super controlled by their boss. Like, their boss literally, it's weird. Like, their boss literally picked out the wife that this person can have. They picked out what time they had to wake up, go to sleep, have sex, eat, what type of drink they can have, what type of food they can have. And while the story builds up, you could feel the character kind of like, damn, like, I don't have any say over my life at all. And the person basically ends up standing up for themselves and finally being like, nah, this is one thing that I won't do. And so the boss basically, and I hope I'm not spoiling it, I'm trying to keep it light, but I don't know if you guys are actually going to see the movie. But the boss ends up like being like, cool, you ain't going to do that for me? That so you don't have to have your job no more. But everything else, you can keep your wife, you can keep the house, you can keep the car. But yeah, you ain't going to come and work for me no more. So there's like this sense of like relief, like, oh yeah, this character actually gets to be free. But then there comes this anxiety because this person has been being controlled so much, which is why I put on Threads, if you feel like you lack purpose, then you're easily controlled. I said that after watching that movie because that's the story or the wisdom that I got from that. So basically he ends up kind of losing his mind because where he thought he wanted freedom when he stood up for himself, he didn't know what the fuck to do with himself. He was like, he didn't know what to eat, he didn't know what to drink. His wife, like, it was just a lot. And it just made me realize the human condition of us wanting to be controlled subconsciously. That's why it's so easy for humans to become chattel or to become sheep. Like, we're always looking for someone to guide us. Always. Down to when it comes to the government or when it comes to our spiritual beliefs or our religious beliefs. We literally feel like we're not capable of being able to govern or guide ourselves. We're like in this room, we're so disconnected from ourselves that as much as we think that we want to have freedom, we really don't want it. I think that the majority of the people don't realize that, like, they don't really want it. That's what that movie highlighted. I think that there are people who do. Like, I know I definitely do. That's why, you know, I made major life changes in my life, but it was so much that I had to learn on this journey of walking away from having a job and working for myself and my own God-given abilities. It's been a hard journey. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I have the ability to govern myself. And when I think back on it, when I had a job, I'm like, how the fuck was I waiting? And it's no shade to jobs because I think that some people do need that structure. You know what I'm saying? At one point, I really did need that structure. But when I think about when I actually worked versus now, I'm like, how was I doing that? Like, how was I like... Sometimes it takes all day to just be a human. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to sit with your feelings and to figure out how you feel and to like really get into your energy. And when you get out of that like hamster wheel, like matrix energy, it's like, what the fuck? But that movie just made me realize that, like, he didn't know what to do with himself. He literally didn't. It was to the point to where he was like begging to be controlled again. And I'm like, on a bigger level, that's how we are. We're all like ran by the government and everybody's like, oh, this is all messed up and we don't want, you know, to be controlled and things should be like this. But if we actually didn't have that, and you guys haven't done the inner work to learn how to govern yourselves, then it's going to be really hard to respect your freedom. It's so much discipline that you have to have in order to have freedom. And I know I just went off on a tangent because I was talking about Pisces placements in that card. But yeah, y'all should see that movie. It's called Kinds of Kindness. It's very trippy, super eerie, very weird, but it really shows the fine line between sovereignty and being controlled and our ability to just want to believe in somebody outside of ourselves. Because the third story is about like a spiritual cult. And yeah, it's just so easy. Even in this field that I'm in, there's a great responsibility of me being a reader and making sure that people don't develop a unhealthy codependency on getting readings. You know what I'm saying? Because you like the way that I do it, or you feel like you need a reading to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to use readings, but you utilize it responsibly. I feel like I try to put that out there as much as possible, because there's a major responsibility for me doing this type of work, you know? Yes. Saturn energy, and we are ruled, this earth realm is ruled by Saturn energy. Not many want the responsibility. Exactly. A lot of people need to be controlled, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many people you see that literally just think that life is just supposed to be like doing what you're told to do and following a blueprint? You know how many people I have known that literally followed the American dream or blueprint, and they're literally not, like, once you do that, like, oh, I went to school, I got the degree, now I got the house, the car, I got the family, and it's like, well, what happens after that? After you've settled into that life, you spent all of this time following that now you forgot about your purpose, you forgot about your desires, you forgot about this whole other side of your life. And 9 times out of 10, like I said in my alchemist video, people follow that and then they get to a point where it's like, well, damn, now I'm too old to do this, or I have a family, I can't follow my purpose. And like, you start to lie to yourself and tell you that you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, true teacher brings us to ourselves as honorable. Yes, yeah. I definitely, I definitely feel a sense of responsibility when it comes to that. That's why I said on one of my lives, I was like, y'all not gonna catch me on here doing like readings every day and pulling cards every day. I respect, you know, people who can do that, but it's like, for me, I'm like, when are you gonna be able to apply what I pulled? You know what I'm saying? Or what I said? Like, when are you gonna have time to do that? Like, there has to be some form of application that happens. If I take my energy to do divination and share it, you know what I mean? Go to church, go to work, yeah. That's another thing. I said that with religion basically gives people the ability to not have to be so responsible. And when you get into the spiritual side of the game, you are 100% responsible for how shit is going. And that's a big deal. It is much easier, just like it's much easier to just have a job. Like, it truly is. It's much easier to do that versus like having to think for yourself all of the time. I can attest to that for sure. Anyways, I'm just kind of going off, freestyling. It is 2:30 in the morning here. So, I thank y'all for joining me. I am going to save this live and put it on my page and probably chop it up like I did with the other videos. I hope that this was helpful for y'all. And I hope that y'all have a wonderful night.